Bobby, my friend, welcome to the
Yes,
show.
bro. Okay, fine. Be nice. It's just nice to you again after a long time. It's my
Absolutely.
pleasure.
I've been looking forward to this discussion for a long time, Bobby. And now that it's here, I'm so excited to be talking to you. How
Same
have you
here.
been?
Uh, It's all grace, man. It's all grace and mercy that has taken us this far.
Amen to
What can I
that.
say? Yeah, God has been watching over us. So it's good to see you as well. That you're okay and in one piece and
Thank
very
you. Thank
peaceful
you.
and you're not going really fast. That's something else. Yeah, because
Bobby, I've known you for before 44 years now.
yeah.
And yeah, so the first time that I met you was back in 1980 when we were in
Mm-hmm.
one. It is a little school called Watanabe Primary School in Shamba, which is
Correct.
northeast Harare, the capital of Zimbabwe. And
Yes, that's correct.
we've been friends ever since.
Yeah, ever since we've been friends ever since, and I don't know how you hooked up with this other, but yeah, I believe it was just destiny that you discover a friend and then you keep the friend, and friends are for keeps, but not all friends are for keeps.
Yeah,
But
no,
I'm glad this one was for keeps, and it's still just like that.
that,
So
that's
I think everything goes. I don't know if I met, but that faithful was a long time ago. But it was good that we made a discovery of each other.
yeah, no, that's absolutely an amazing story. I'll go so far as calling you uh, a brother, a family member,
Mm,
effectively. That
yeah,
is close. I believe we are for B. And
yes.
growing up in Shamba, just take me back to uh, the early years growing up
Mm,
in Shamba, a small, dusty little mining town
mhm.
with a on. Uh, I think you'd agree with me for that. Not much is expected out
Out of
of
that area.
coming out of that area. But
Hmm.
I must say that, you have been a shining example of going against that expectation or going against that trend,
The
and
odds, yeah.
you've done it very well. Tell me what life was growing up in Shampa as a young boy.
Yeah, as a young boy, I think it was one day at a time. Just like, we always live one day at a time. We didn't have much hope than, the hope is little beyond being in Shamba. It was a place community. The best we can be is from the inspirations around. If I can be employed at the mine, if I can be a surveyor, if I can be a miner, if I can be maybe probably an accountant there, that's all we looked at, and nothing beyond because our world was sort of connected to the community that we were living in. And being a community as it was, I want to believe thinking beyond the Shamba was not something given to everyone. It's only by chance and time that you move out the time you have those other trips. The trips we used to make was youth. You go out to Chinoy, you go out to Caribbean. Then you can experience of the world beyond. But
Mm,
it didn't do much inspiration. I must be honest, I took a day at a time. It was only later on in the years that I realized there was a life beyond us, beyond Shamba. When you went out, when you had seen some other guys at advanced level, they went out in Gwen, all these other areas. Then you start to think there is life beyond Shamba. But how do we break into that? You just take a day at a time. Like I was saying, it all takes grace to take you from one level to the next. Some had its own struggles, and there are so many people we lost today, you remember? Some people died without even going beyond that area. Uh, May their souls rest in peace. But when you look at where I am right now, it's all the work of grace, man. It's all the work of grace. I never dreamed of some of the things that I'm experiencing now. I never worked for them in that time. But one thing is that where I am is all the work of grace. So the best thing that could have happened to me in Shamra is discovering God, or God discovering me. So this is what has brought me this far. That's what I can say because I'm not different from all the guys who are there. Neither are you different from all the guys that are still staying there, or that lost their hopes and their lives in Shamra. But it's all the work of grace that has taken us this far. But I cherish every moment, especially those times you remember when I used to come to your place. Uh, we have supper, we have lunch together, we have refreshments, and the respect that I enjoyed from your mother and your father and your brothers, who took me as a part of the family. Even when you come home, my mother, you have to respect you as part of the family. It was something else, but I believe it was pointing to the now that we now have. So Shanda has got lots of good memories, um, which I really want to go back and experience that, but we cherish those memories and they should us into the kind of persons that we are today. So that's what I can say in summary.
That is true for me. So you touched on how we would visit each other uh,
Mm-hmm.
at our homes, and the point that you mentioned that when you came over to our house,
Mm.
parents would treat you just like their son, and
Yeah.
also reciprocated that whenever
Mm.
came over to your house. So it's just that sense of community which was really strong, and
Yes.
you always felt like everyone was watching you and looking
Mm-hmm.
up. So we
Yes.
didn't get, we didn't get to much mischief because
Mm.
all eyes are on you.
Yeah.
Like they say,
Yeah.
it takes community to raise a child, and I think Shamba and growing up in that area
Mm.
exemplifies that in a very
Of
typical
course.
way.
Of course. Of course.
For me, tell
Mm.
me, yeah, go ahead, please, go ahead.
Yeah. You remember these times when we used to go to that shopping center, which was the main shopping center, as it they call it the main shopping center, in the post office there, and the elite guy in that area in that town, the father is a better job than my father. So you have a little bit of 50 crowns in your pocket, we go and play slag, and you buy us some drinks, and then we enjoy like that. I still cherish those times, and uh, the sharing part of it really it's really tightening. And besides, you're unique in a way that you didn't have that pride of status. Because you remember you used to stay in the middle density setup, the middle density, when you high density. But whenever we met as friends, that didn't show. You'd come to a level and just going like that. And that again actually is, I think that was a proof factor in me uh, being very comfortable around you. And like the other guys, of course, because as you know, when people are in a community and the statuses are different, you tend to associate with people with your like status. But you know, come down to the level I was the high density guy, but he still come back to me. I don't know what attracted you to me. It's because of intelligence. And
Of course,
likewise, me. Yeah, the most attractive issue about me being with you was the intelligence level we shared. The challenges that we gave each other in those at the battle level. And I believe in our families a respect for that. That apart from being paid and being paid for the others, we took time to take our books very seriously. Each time we sat in the desk to do books and studies, took the time to be very, very important. And the show that were in, environment were people, news or midnight is also. But,
yeah.
I don't know, we share the books. So like people say that you need someone who will challenge you in life. And you also need someone uh, who will challenge. And
Mhm,
you also need someone who there is a fire than you. People
mhm,
see how far you are different.
mhm, mhm,
So I used to enjoy that. But what attracted me to being a Paris friend is your level of respect for my status, your contribution and your value addition to me as well. And the challenge that always posed in my path for uh, educational progress and whatever it is, is a challenge to me. So that's why I really, about, I really like hanging out around you. So that was Shamba for me.
For me, you are very generous with your comments, and I'll be perfectly honest here.
Mm,
When we were small little boys,
mm,
I had no idea of the distinctions or the separations or the different communities that we had growing up
mm,
back.
mm.
I honestly was not aware of that, and
We not. Und
so
that
no,
stimmt actually.
I was not aware of that. So what attracted me to you was just your inquisitive mind. So
Mm.
you're one of the guys who had such an amazing command of the English language. I remember when you
Okay.
were 14 or 15, you attempted to write a novel,
Mm-hmm.
and you gave me you
Okay.
asked me to read it,
To edit.
and
Yeah.
I may copy. I may still have a copy of your novel back in 1987, 88 thereabouts.
Mm.
And yeah, but your command of just the languages, you speak several languages for me, three or four,
Mm.
and just your versatility. I was really attracted to that, and you came to the faith much earlier than I did, and
Mm.
I remember part of my journey for B is
Mm.
because of you.
You remember we had to cancel out or to quit these those relationships that we had with some girls. You remember?
Speak for yourself, Obi.
I will speak for us. That we to quit because I remember these girl issues were disturbing us in our education. And each time we were trying to focus on that, it was disturbing our trend of thinking and our trend of studies. So we had to push it aside. And I think that's one good part of the decision that we made when we were growing up. We were not so much into these girls' issues, you know. And I
Mhm.
remember I was a very shy character, and so were you. You're a very shy character. You really want to, you really want to mingle with girls, and I love that part. I remember, I even tell my wife now that, do you know that I was a very shy character? I really want to be involved with the girls.
Yeah.
If anything, my greatest fear, I think it protected me, was that I wouldn't want to mess with girls because suppose I get into premarital issues and mess up with my level. Definitely that is going to cut off my professional, my career prospects. So I tried along those lines that I would want to entertain a weakness along that area. So I want to applaud you as a friend that you agreed with me. We're not naughty. We're not naughty with the girls. So yeah, that's one of the areas because
That's good for us.
it destroyed lots of our friends. You know that. And for you to be trending in Shamba, you're getting into one, two, three, four girlfriends. So, and even when I grew up, do you know when you left me to do a cadetship in Shamba, Mike? You know that.
Yeah,
After I
I did.
completed my high school, I
Yeah.
went into cadetship for survey, land survey cadetship. And then, do you know the reason why I failed in that career development? Was because of ladies. it was important to get involved with the lady. Apparently, she was only one lady, and then in that lady was another one of the bosses prospects. Another boss chamber man, he wanted some lady. So you have to make sure that he creates a scandal and then cut off all my career. And that's how my career ended in Shamba Mine. Do you know that?
Bobby, I don't know about that story. But
Yeah, that part probably didn't get to know about it. But if you get to talk to Punch, talk to Rams, talk to any other guys who are ahead of us, they'll tell you that this kind of, that role like a Dashi, the Shanga man, was involved in that lady. One of the personnel managers was also involved with. So, I'm simply trying to fast forward to bring you back to our time when we were still young. That we managed to forget that because if we got involved in those kind of scandals, definitely our careers would have been maimed, would have been maybe cut short and probably would have taken some different routes by now. So I want to thank God for that. It's all the work of God. I want to take it that the time your role model may not necessarily be the best person or the best character on the platform. Your role model can even someone who's messing up can be your role model. How because I've also learned in life that we, we learn better at times by seeing what we are not supposed to do. So someone can be a role model in the sense that what he is doing, you are, as a student, you are saying, I will not do that. So a person can be a role model, uh, depending on how you as a student take it. I grew up around big boys like the Rams boys, the Chelsea, and that age. The big boys of that area. When I Temba, when Paji, and those guys, when they hit a generation above us. So you go from a distance and say, hey, how is he conducting his life? It's really limited as it were in that area of Shamba Mind. But maybe from them, but the time to make the Shamba, some people who they remember they were Secretary, I would lie to you. There were no there was battalion to you here. Very few. The only people that knew what I was saying about Peter and the people doing slavery and inside the households during that time, but you look at life and things like that. It wasn't much. It will actually take it into you, back to that side into your future. I would want to be like this person. Most guys who were doing academic, and always when they go to the school. Those were the time that people take that man. He was inspirational. The time in the Teddy Page, in the, yeah, to mention a few, some of these guys. But in fact, when they are not which square, it was all about school. Those who did better in school, who collected match awards, school awards, getting daily. Those are the people. To me, people who know about me. I begin to watch all these people and see how they're doing in life. Then I told the podcast, okay, he's going into banking, he's going into insurance, he's doing this, he's doing that, he's doing. You can actually see, okay, because it was limited as it were. It's only when we came to Harare, that's when we discovered the Lord was guided that the things that we need to aspire. But we lived at the other time. So inspiration, as you might want to say, it was only gathered from the guys who were around us, the generation that was ahead of us in terms of tertiary education. That's all I can say. But from our parents, status we were inspired by parents. They just the general members for Shamba Mind. And some very times, much younger than the family status. But you don't aspire I want to be like my father. There's not something better because it was just hard labor. It was just a routine like that. And it doesn't much life in Shamba. So to look beyond that was the best we could do.
Bobby, that's a very
That's very
interesting story. Tell me
Tell me
about
about
how you then
how you then
transitioned
transition
into adulthood,
adulthood,
talking about high school,
school,
talking about time beyond that.
beyond.
I'm trying to
Trying to
build the
build the
story
story
to the decisions that
decisions that
you made as
made
an
as an
adult,
adult.
and
And
also
also
how you chose
show.
your life partner, and just
Just
how
how
life
life
turned out
out
when you became an adult, and what right decisions you
decisions
believe you made as
made yourself.
part of that journey.
Then yeah, but I want to tell you that my life story was not easy from coming out of Shamba. I came out of Shamba, like I've just mentioned to you, because I had a scandal, a, 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 a career scandal. My career was cut short. But the superiors of Shamba were like, no, 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 guy, you don't want to go and try something else. Surveying is not part of you, and you don't fit here. I had, I qualify for Shamba to be big. I'm versatile. I could do anything and everyone to succeed. But just because I had a scandal, it was a social scandal in the community, the superiors thought they need to get rid of this young man. So they successfully got rid of me. They tried to take my professional career. And then I left Canada to come to Harare. It's just an ordinary guy. I didn't have my relatives are that close. One of my distant relatives he just housed me. I came to Harare and then I started off just being a street guy. Being a street guy for a year or two. Um, it was not easy in Harare. All I got was my Form 6 qualification. And then I, I gave I recommitted my life to God.
Hmm.
That was the beginning. I recommitted my life to God. I said, God, I think I need to start again with you. I've been a failure so far. I failed to do something very survey. I've been thrown out of the whole thing. Now I need to start a paradigm shift. That's why I set my whole life settings. What did I start to do? I started going to church. Starting right from the bottom. Right, without anything, without much to talk about. Just being a church guy. Say before you say the church and she did, and then it said I was going with my pastor. We gave me the opportunity to go and teach because I was very good. My mind set my bro. So to create some opportunity for me, I would go and teach, to get to a primary school, and you get my temporary teaching opportunities, teach kids, and I was teaching Bible. And then he sought me a job as a preacher. I went and joined life ministry as a Jesus from preacher. They trained me pastoral work. I started doing pastoral work, and then I was enjoying going around Zimbabwe preaching from church to church, preaching from church to church. But that time I did not regret it because I knew that God knew before I go anyway. So it's a time that I found God, or God found me. So I lived in my relationship with God. I got grounded in faith. I understood what Christianity is. And most of my life lessons, I'm saying, the faith lessons, I got during that time. It was 2, 3 years. And people actually were mourning, like, where is that guy? Only, yeah, because where is the education that he had? It's not even the dustbin. And everyone knew me. Right now, if I go to shop and they call me pastor, they need to pastor right. So then we were on Fundis, and now it was on Fundis. That's when they knew about me. But they didn't know at the time God starts with me from the end, then coming back to the beginning. So that's how I took it. So it all started. That's how my life started. After that time in Africa, pastoral life, it took me about 3 years or so. And then uh, I found my wife during my time in ministry was, and the way I got married was not the best way to get married. I became emotional. I almost lost a girlfriend to another guy because I was just a pastor. And the in-laws said, how can you better get married to a pastor? So they tried to bring my wife to something else. And to intercept them. I don't call it. Hush pop. I got married. I loved it at my house. I was afraid I'm going to lose my girlfriend. So that's why I got married. And I started a family that way. And because of the way I got married, I was thrown out of the ministry. They said, no, we cannot do ministry. That's kind of a scandalous startup. You've got to be exemplary. So I left my job as a pastor. I went back to the street. Now I'm training for my wife. I started like from bottom zero. I went for a job. So the good Samaritans who came along and then I joined some other NGOs as an administrator, as a receptionist. So this one I started from zero, from ground zero. Again, I was not afraid to start from ground zero. Until later on I discovered, well, the kind of person that is a man who can do anything and everything. So I found my strength in administration and accounting and then started working along those lines, developing my profession along those lines. By that time, I had a family. So that's how I entered into adulthood and became a father, became a husband, became a father and a husband. So
For
my life
yours,
in adulthood started that way. I think a good start. It is not something that I had wished for. I could have done better. But circumstances actually pushed me. I was a bit irrational. I was a bit emotional. I was emotionally involved in certain decisions that I made. And some kind of rushed. But in the middle of it all, God knew who I was, my weaknesses, my strength, and He knew how best He can get me to where I am today. So I made so many good mistakes. And growing up is all learning what not to do and what to do. And I think I'm slowly getting there. So that's how I ushered myself into adulthood.
for me, what you just described there is testament to how resilient you are in life. For most people, when they are faced with the change that you faced,
Mm,
they crumble down and they most of them they hit rock bottom and do not recover from that,
mm, mm,
and that has affected everything. And as a result, they've gone into depression. Some people
mm,
have suicidal thoughts. Some people have actually on the suicide thoughts
mm,
in their lives.
mm,
What advice do you have for men, especially who may be struggling, having to rebuild their lives after hitting a wall?
mm. For them who they hit a brick wall and start to struggle in life, what I can say is I've discovered that life will throw every brick at you. Life will throw every brick at you, will throw everything and will throw trashes at you. But that's the building materials. Whatever life throws at you, they are all building materials. You can step on those and elevate yourself. If you know how, if you are patient, if you are enduring, you need all the challenges that you go through. They are meant to develop the character that you should be. And every level of life has got its own challenges. When you are done with this one, remember another one is coming. You have a short break, like we always have a short breaks at school. 15 minutes break, you know, quick break, you go and have your water, come back again, you are in for another task. That's how life is like. I can't imagine a life without challenges. Right now, as I speak, I've told you about the challenges even as boys that we had, the childhood challenges. It need to age with some of the challenges that came in, you know, at that level. When I started the career development, it was a challenge at that level. But the thing is, how do you come out of it? Do you tap into God's wisdom? Do you tap into God's grace? Do you tap into God's mercy in order to come out of those? And by the time you come out of each level of challenge, you are someone better than you were before that challenge. So challenges are supposed to come, not to tie you down. We don't break down, we don't break off from challenges. We conquer them instead. You don't mean anything in the face of a challenge. You conquer, you're supposed to conquer it. You can't call yourself a man who is not better in his life. There is no such kind of a life where you just live and everything else is always peaceful from day one to day zero. A life without any better as a man does not make you a man. So expect the battles to come, they will come. And God will even allow them to come. In the first
So when you have challenges, what people call problems, well, it depends on you are defining it from which angle. They are not problems, they are challenges. Challenges are there to refine who you are. Because you are growing up. You are growing up, the challenge that you face, every challenge, every level, at every level, they are supposed to make you better as a human being. They are character builders. So you can't pray away problems. You can't pray away challenges. They've got to come. So whatever I faced in life, I want to thank God I had those challenges. It's not pleasant, but it's needed. It's needful to have those problems because they shape who you are. Ree was actually asking me, how can you afford to be so patient? Is it character? What is it? So patience does not just come, as a virtue like that. It just comes naturally. It's not natural to have patience. You teach yourself to be patient because you realize in life, without patience, you lose the most important things. The best things in life are worth waiting for. So, do you have that time to wait? Do you have the heart to wait for the best things in life? So if you are an instant or a microwave type of person who always believe microwave products, that you can just cook your salad in 5 minutes, or you can cook your pasta in 2 minutes. Life is not like that. The best things in life, someone was sharing with me saying, no, an elephant, the gestation period of an elephant, and that of a hen or a chick is different, and you can see the product that comes out of those two gestations, that they are different. An elephant, it gives life to a bigger product than what comes out of a hen's egg. So if your challenge, if your life, if you are meant to for high profile life, expect challenges to come also at that level that are bigger than you. So that's how I define things. Each time you face challenges, it's now a time that God wants to take you through a certain level or a certain level of things. So pray through, allow it to go through, and at the end of the day, you appreciate the kind of character that you are. When Peter went into that temptation of denying Jesus, Jesus even told him what I always tell other people, that you are going to go through this. You deny me 3 times. Actually, God knew what he was going to go through. That you are going to deny me 3 times before the cock crows. But when you come, I've prayed for you that when you come back, strengthen others. So when you come out of your challenges, the lesson that you draw out of it, the challenges, the wisdom that you draw out of it, there is someone who is going to come with the same problem. You are supposed to be their tutor. You are supposed to be their trainer. You are supposed to give them wisdom. So that's how I take life.
Obi, very, very detailed and very insightful. I think the urgent matter right now is to coach, to mentor, and to help other people think in the same way that you do, and the way that you approach challenges. You actually, it looks like you embrace challenges, and uh, you expect challenges, and you welcome challenges,
Mm,
and that's a different mentality. If you did not have those skills, you
mm,
may have dealt with these challenges differently. And a lot
mm.
of men deal with life's challenges differently.
Differently. Yeah.
Some, it takes them into a state of depression.
Depression,
For,
suicidal
some,
tendencies.
it could be a medical condition, obviously needing attention and medication uh,
Mhm,
to deal with that. And I appreciate the difference. But yeah, I'm just focusing on people who go off the rails
mhm,
because they are unable to deal
mhm,
with the difficulties of life, be they complete loss of their businesses, complete loss of their primary home,
mhm,
or divorce,
mhm,
loss of a child,
mhm,
or loss of a partner.
mhm,
It can be anything. And
mhm.
what you're saying is we've got to learn how to embrace that. How do we teach young people, young men, to be able to understand it? Because you, if someone doesn't teach you that in your formative years,
Mm.
you were fortunate that you somehow ran into this advice, or you somehow you acquired this tool that has sustained you.
Mhm.
Should we be conscious and deliberate about teaching young people to expect and embrace challenges?
Yeah, the problem we have with the current generation of young men is that uh, I don't know why, but there is this word that I've been going through the whole day. I don't know why, but probably let me put it in this conversation. A rolling stone gathers no moss. You remember that proverb?
Yeah, I do.
A rolling stone gathers no moss. If you are a rolling stone, you know moss. Moss is those that kind of to my growth tunoita padombo kana rakagara tunokura tunenge turi green. So moss is like a certain special plantation plants or vegetation inokura padombo rakagara risiri kufamba famba. So kana dombo rikatanga kufamba, there is no time for moss to gather on a rolling stone. So when you are rushing through life, at times you don't have time to gather value and status and the respect, and there's no time to earn wisdom as well. So that's the problem we have. People don't. We have got people that are too busy doing a lot of things and doing nothing. So there was a point in time when God actually spoke to me saying, "Don't be too busy doing everything. As much as you can do everything, don't be too busy doing everything. Do something. You can play soccer, you can play tennis, you can play volleyball, you can do swimming, you can do triathlon, you can do cycling and everything else. But if you go to the Olympics and you want to participate in every discipline of sport, yes, you can participate, but your performance will be thinly spread. You cannot perform 100% in everything else. You be a participant, but it's Mungwapo meta number 8 out of 10, Pambaji meta number 6 out of 10, Pambaji number 17 out of 20. Why? You cannot discharge all your capabilities 100% when you are thinly spread in different disciplines. So at times you need to be more focused in something else. Don't be a rolling stone. You gather no value. be someone, be particular, be focused. And at times you need to just sit and learn from the best. I always have got issues with my own kids, At times I tell them, no, you don't have time with me. I wish down back then in my years, I had time sitting down with my fathers, just chatting with them and getting to understand their trend of thinking. They have got a value that they could have uh, downloaded back to this generation, and then I would download to the next generation. But I didn't have that time to sit with them down. Probably I thought they were not up to my generation. They are it's an old generation. They have nothing to give to me, which is wrong. So young men of the present time, they need to find the time to sit at the feet of other people who are experienced and learn, and also expose ourselves. We don't want to be exposed. Everyone wants everyone to see the best side of my life, the best face or the best handsome area of me. But how many of us can really expose ourselves so that we get help? How many people know your weaknesses? Because at times, he who perfects you from your weaknesses has done a lot of justice to your growing up than the person who praises you for your strength, because he doesn't see your strength are your strength, but your weaknesses are your best undoing. So my weakness is the most frightful thing about my life in him. Because your weakness, young, then you know the message that you're supposed to preach to me. Than praising me. Yes, praising someone or encouraging someone along the lines of their strength is good. But he who addresses the weaknesses of men, build that man for a better tomorrow. Saka varume vazhinji at the current times, they end up suicidal because all they know is all there is to know for them. But they don't know that all they know is not all there is to know. The challenges Andrew face right now, someone has already gone through that. There is nothing new on earth. But if someone has gone through this, how did they come out? I need to know, I need to understand. I need to have wisdom. I always tell my kids that, what we went through, that's my parents are that, ndaitakura mutakura ndichienda kuchikoro. I used to carry my lunch packs, are so cheap, ndichienda kuchikoro. But I wouldn't want my kids to go through the same thing. There are challenges also in life that you wouldn't want your kids to go through that. And the best way for them to avoid going through what you went through is to hear it from you, to get your testimonies and get wisdom from me that don't go through that way. I went through it. And that's the most painful thing about every parent. When you look at your kids, you know that if she does not get it right at this level, she will commit the same mistakes that I did. So the best way a parent can do is to make sure that you avoid your kids going through the same mistakes that you did. Share your testimony to them. Someone was saying parenting is all about even telling them what you went through. I was going to school today, one pair of shoes. They need to know. Not necessarily it's good for them to go through the same thing, but for them to appreciate life. The life can take you to the lowest ebb. But how do you handle that? So tikakura tikadaro manje, when they are faced with the challenges, vanosimba. They become more strong. They know that my dad went through this and he came out of it. I can go through this and I can also come out of it. So that's all we need. We need to have brothers keepers. We need to have my wisdom archives. We need to have my referees in life where we can go to. I tell you, Faraiga, that's one thing which I tried in life. So I didn't have a brother. You know that. I was the big brother in my own house. That's why I would find with Zotamba no Warasana Temba, Vana Ramsey, and Vana Chelsea, and our late brother was this. The late Obwana.
Isaac.
Isaac. You would want to hang around those big boys. Why? Because uruda tap in from their experiences, you know. And I remember even Pananda Ucheta was a Presbyterian by that time. Cheno Presbyterian, I used to hang out with the big boys. And some of them were ganja takers, they were smokers, they were drinkers, but I was learning from them in a negative sense. But no, I wouldn't want to do this, you know. So we need mentors in life. We need mentors in life. One wanozoti go to my extremes in religion wanozoti you need to have a spiritual father. Well, we don't need spiritual fathers. We just need mentors in life. Mentors. Someone who mentors you out of to know this kind of rashata. It's like this. But you find with vazhinji farai at the present moment, we are just growing up. We don't have people we can confide in because we are surrounded by elders who don't have a character. Characterless people. What means what if I share anything with this person, I will get zero advice. So I'd rather not even tell the person. So when I'm suffering, I suffer in silence. So that's the deficiency we have at the moment. We don't have mentors. We don't have elders we can lean on. And I wish I could do. I could be that to other people.
I think you can be. Forbid there are a lot of young men in your workplace, in your church, in your community who look up to you, and that's the kind of role that I believe you are playing. Whether you are aware of it or not, you've got people who are actually watching you and wanting to see how you conduct your life. You mentioned earlier about telling our children our stories. My daughters asked me the other day to tell them about my father. They asked me, where did your father go to school? How many brothers did he have? How many sisters did he have? Tell me about his parents. Tell me about what he did as a young man. Tell me about what he did as an adult. Tell me about his interests. Did he play sport in school? What was he good at? And for me, I did not have those answers. I couldn't tell them.
I can
I
imagine. I can
I
imagine.
did I do not know much about the man, and I'm just thinking
If it was
this
me,
this
I
this
would answer
kid,
half of
right?
those questions. And you know how it is. It's a deficiency. They want because it defines who they are. They need to understand themselves. So to understand themselves, they need to know where they came from. Well, some of the things are already in their DNA. So when they behave otherwise, they will understand, they will refer back to, okay, this is what our grandfather used to do, or this is what our grandmother was doing. So they know to understand themselves better by referring back to history, and that's the history they are looking for. So we should be able to tell that story. And it can also measure them, how far you have taken them to their level. Then our father was just a boy from the mining compound in Shamba there.
Mm,
And
mm,
today he's now a man, a captain of the industry. He's someone who has got a large command. Like in Inuku Church, when I stand up, I've been preaching. I preach a lot. Zimbabwe ad hoc, like yesterday, ad hoc, there was someone I can't find out something else Papa Easter, and he was nowhere to be found. The only easy thing for everyone was to say, call Singano and let him do it for us. So the next thing I found myself on the pulpit, leading, doing liturgies. It's instinctively in me. They know we've got a leader in our midst who can influence and change the way people think. So whenever those chances and opportunities come, don't miss it. Don't play with people's time. Give the best, add value to time. So much more important to our own family, they need information. Yeah, we should be able to give them answers.
mm. For me, there's one thing that you are currently involved in, and that's around promoting marriages, promoting family life.
Mm,
I look up to you as a model husband. The way that
mhm,
you lead your family really
mhm,
inspires me. Tell
mhm.
me why you are so motivated to go in that direction. and why is it important to you?
Ah, okay. Yeah, that's my piece of cake. I want to know that. I want you to know that that's my piece of cake. Um, I've discovered something, Farai, that in life, the way the way your marriage goes, that's the way your life goes. If you have, if you are enjoying a good marriage, everything else goes on well. If it's not all, if all is not well at your place, at your home, between you and your wife, no matter how much success we may enjoy in the society, you will never enjoy life. So it's the way you handle your marriage that is very crucial and important. It's pivotal. Marriage is pivotal to your happiness in life. If you don't get it right in that area, there's happiness is never given by having money. And marriage is one good relationship which determines a lot of things in our circles. Uh, I'm only as happy as my marriage is. That's what I can simply tell you. And I've also discovered that the way you carry out your marriage, or the way you discharge your responsibilities in your marriage, it reflects on your daughters, it reflects on your sons. That's the only school they have to learn to know how they are supposed to conduct their relations when they grow up. So, in a way, I find it very convenient to teach my kids how they need to live when they grow up. They need to have a peaceful marriage. They need to have a stable marriage. And I've seen that this is what translates to value in life. So I've experienced also, what inspires me is that I've experienced the bad patches in marriage, very, very bad patches in as far as marriage is concerned. And I wouldn't want someone to go through that. So the best way is for me to help others live better marriages as well. By giving myself to it as a ministry and making myself available. Just 2 weeks ago, I was involved with another couple. They were on the verge of divorce. One of my fellow couples. They were on the verge of divorce. And their problems are common to men. But if you don't know how to handle it, the very same problems that made other marriages better, they can break other marriages. So I just came in between, interceded for them, gave them counsel, inspired them to move, to go on, inspired them to love each other. And that's all I could do. And I did the best that I can. Right now, they're still together. They are pushing, and they are seeing the best part of each other. And because that's how things should be like. And I've taken lots of time. Even right now, I'm still learning to understand this thing called marriage. The whole purpose and issue and objective is to make it better for everyone, including me. I'm still learning. I'll tell you, even my own marriage, Farai, I am still learning. I'm learning how to love my wife. And when you take time to learn every day, you tend to discover lots of nuggets and issues that when you employ, you make your marriage a bed of roses. Forget about it. It's not natural. It will never come natural. It will never Marriage will never exist naturally. It's a lot of work. It's a lot of investment. So those investments, the capital investment that you put towards your marriage, you have got to dig them. You've got to find them. You've got to employ them. And then, as you know, every capital injection has got a capital return. There are returns that come with every investment. So the returns for investing towards your marriage, they are very high returns. And for you to start to say, I'm enjoying my marriage, it does not come natural. There's not, hakuna chinhu chinonzi natural about it. It's all work. It's hard work. So it's those, and I wish that for everyone. You included. You included. I've asked you some questions before. How you are doing? How is your family? Because I know you are as happy as your family is. You are as happy as your wife is. If your wife is not happy, if you are not happy in your marriage, or your wife is not happy in the marriage, no matter what you do out there, Farai, it bogs down your life. It pulls you down. It's a big weight. It's a burden. You can't pull the wagon of marriage when you have got an unhappy partner. But in marriage, you can really right. When we get it right in your marriage, you get every other avenue. You'll be surprised professionally, everywhere, social life, everything else. Spiritually, spiritually when you go to church. It augurs well when the marriage augurs well. So it's one critical area and it adds a lot of life to me. If you don't get depression in marriage, that you have been talking about my suicidal tendencies. Some people they don't commit suicide, but they are already dead because of the condition of their marriage. You are already dead, you are declared dead because when you are brain dead, you are dead. So when your marriage has lost its head, it's already dead, technically. So you need to have time to invest in it. Give it the best shot that you can. Do the best for it. So whatever I do for my marriage, for my wife, for my kids, and everything else, I'm doing it for me because I can't afford not to live in a marriage. It's not peace. When there is peace in my marriage, and then I know I am suffice. I know I'm okay. It gives me a good health. You know, you know very well that I lost the first part of my first marriage. I lost that one.
Okay.
I had to
Yeah.
start another one.
Right.
This is project number 2. But project number 2, I make sure I don't go through what I went through in the first project. I had my own lessons in the first project, so I make sure to and the experience the same thing again in this one. So
Do you want to share just one key point for me without diving into the details of
mhm.
what you learned from your first marriage that you changed or worked on in the second marriage?
uh, faithfulness is very very important. It's a pillar in marriage that lacked actually in the first marriage, and it was born out of unfaithful background, and I was emotionally involved without engaging my mind. I made the right decisions, which I regretted later on. I couldn't recover from all the pain that I experienced when I started that marriage. I thought I would make it up, but there was no compliment from the other part. So I lived 10 years horribly, and trust was out of the window. So in the second one, I had to make sure that the trust is there, is built, and it's nurtured, and it's invested in. And the returns are very high, and I don't regret it. So
For me,
anything,
you focused on marriage or a good marriage as a source of happiness.
mm,
And would you also just want to comment on there will be listeners right now and people watching this show
mm,
who are single,
mm,
out of choice
mm.
or otherwise. Um, what message do you have to just ensure that you also cover those people who have decided not to get married or who are not able to get married or who are still on that path or journey of
To decide.
finding a life partner?
Yeah, this is a corporate. Marriage is a corporate. It's a corporation, and you know what it is like when you form a company. You need to have the best partners. For that corporate to be profitable, you need to have the best board of trustees or the best board of directors to execute the mandate or the objective of that company. Same as in marriage. You can't have it when you don't have the right partner. And when you are not the right partner yourself as well, it starts with you. So it's all about choosing the best and being the best as well, and being the strength of that corporation. Learn as much as you can about this corporation called marriage. The problem we have is we've got people who enter into this relationship without calculating how much it is, without even defining what it really is. It has got its own tenets, it has got its own requirements, and all those things, the requirements of the requirement in marriage actually yakasiyana and the requirement of the persons in the marriage. Marriage is actually a person on her own. She needs to be respected in what she desires, what he or she desires of the two people that are coming into that kind of a relationship. So that contract itself, it has got so many requirements that people don't respect. So if you get a partner, get to understand a corporation is formed by a memorandum of understanding, isn't it? And articles of understanding, which define how you are going to relate. But this thing, this institute is already defined. It defines itself. It has got its own terms. So when we get into it, then we need to agree to its terms. And surprisingly, when you conform to the terms of it also conforms to the terms that each one as an individual will also require. You can't come into this in your own terms. You can't come into marriage with your own terms. It has got to be in the terms of it. So people don't get to really understand. Some people even they get married, but they don't get time to sit down and understand what marriage really requires. The requirements of marriage are independent of how you feel or how you think or how you view. They are already written on stone. So get to understand what marriage requires, and invest in that. Invest in those requirements. And once you do that, you gain respect of your partner, and the products of your partner will also respect you, which means children are products of that marriage as well. They'll also tend to respect you. And at the end of the day, you'll be happy with how the corporate the corporation is working in achieving its goals. So because you are in it, there are lots of things that come out of marriage. Very good citizens come out of marriage. Kids with balanced minds come out of marriage. And surprisingly, your own kids can replicate your marriage when they get also married with their own partners. Someone was even telling me that, do you know that your daughter will get married to a man who is like you? When you are a good husband to your wife, your daughter would really, it would be very easy for her to identify a life partner, because she will always be comparing all those suitors to their father. If they are not better than his father, he will tell them you don't qualify. Why? He's referring to the man in his own home. Well, the first man that she knows is the father. So how you portray yourself within the marriage, the kids will be learning by default. Your son will be a good father in as far as he sees you being one. You'll be a good husband in as far as he sees you being one. And those lessons are by default. They look at it, they see it every day. I always spoil my wife with anything that I feel like. Every week or two, I just buy a dress, I buy this. Even if she doesn't need it, I'll just bring it. I brought you this. Perfumes, I buy perfumes for my wife every time now and then. She's got a lot of them. Why do I do that? I'm just trying to teach these guys that if you can't do this, don't marry. And when you get married, your wife expects these things. And I know that one day when they get married, they know how to do. They know our dad used to spoil our mother every day, and it's easy for them to just practice it. And once they do that, it hooks their partner to them. That's why even in my cards, the ladies, they will say, hey, this guy is so romantic. I don't know how we learned this. If you trace back, there's no romantic man who has never learned it from his father. We don't learn that from friends.
Hmm.
So if you want your kids to be romantic and to be to attract the best woman out there, do the same. Show it. Your affection, your affection should be very open to your kids. Show affection with your wife publicly before your kids. They need it. They need it. Each time, every week, I take my wife out. We are going for holiday. We just pick our things, and they know we are not being invited. These guys, they are going out somewhere else to be alone. So these guys, they really love each other that much. They can afford to leave us and just be themselves. And I am just trying to teach them that when you grow up and get married, spend time with your partner. Because those are the things that bond marriage, that bring a wife and a husband together. So I've seen that it is pivotal. It's pivotal in life to have a good marriage. And after all, did you hear what this lady, the singer? Was this? There's a lady singer. I think it's Whitney Houston. Yeah, she sang a song and says, "When God asks me, what have you been doing on earth? I'll tell him that I was spending my time with my partner." So yeah, we can do anything and everything else in the world, but how we define how we lived is how we lived with our partner. That's how I take it.
Hmm. For me, you know what? On that note, I would like to just thank you for
Mm.
making the time to come onto the show and share your views. I've got a better understanding of who you are, how you grew up.
Mm.
I've got a better understanding of your values. I've got a better understanding of how you are the man that you are today because of the decisions that you've made. I now understand better that you have fallen before many times, like
Yeah.
like many men, but
Mm.
you made the right decisions to get back up onto the saddle and continued on the journey of life.
Yeah.
And I really thank you for the advice that you've given me and given our viewers on marriage and
Mm.
why and how it is important to invest time and resources into marriage.
It's
Thank
my
you so much for
pleasure,
coming
Brian.
onto the show. I would love to have you back on the show, and I want to give you an opportunity right now to share any parting words, comments, observations, uh, last views that you have on any of the topics that we've discussed as we
Yeah.
bring this to a close.
Yeah. On a parting note, I really thank God for you. Uh, I don't even want that I call my best friend than you. That's why when
Thank you.
that's why I gave my son the name for Bifarai. What?
Thank you.
Yeah, I just appreciate you. You added value to me as a young boy when we grew up together. There was so much value exchange, and I love you as a friend. I love your family. I am emotionally involved with your family as well. Your mom, your dad, your brothers, in your life. Each time I think about you, you know, really I understand there is a friend that sticks closer than a brother, and you are one of them. So
For me,
it
that
has
means
been
so much to
nice
me.
having you. Yeah, thank you so much, and I look forward to more of these times. This is a groundbreaking issue, and I want to believe we'll be more prepared next time to talk about more deeper things and move on. And thank you so much for having me. I appreciate so much, and Ray for being patient because it was not easy putting this interview. Yeah, thank you guys.
Thank you so much. And that, dear listeners, brings us to the end of yet another enlightening episode of Break the Cycle today. A huge thank you to our incredible guest, for Bitsingano, for joining us today and sharing his inspiring journey and invaluable insights on breaking free from the cycles that limit us. Today, for be focused on the importance of marriage. And next time, for that you're back on the show, we'll be talking about something different. And I would really love to have you back. Remember, breaking the cycle is about taking the first step, no matter how small. If today's discussion resonated with you, consider sharing with someone who might benefit from it too. Don't forget to subscribe to our podcast on your favorite platform so you don't miss any episodes that we push out. Together, we can break the cycle and embrace a future of endless possibilities. My name is Farai Hobwana. This has been Break the Cycle. Today.